I'm an average dude.
Welcome back, guys. This is episode 8. We back. The average dude is back.
8.2.
8.2. You
8.2.
guys don't know about the other two, but
Y'all don't know about
we did shoot it
the hidden
and,
tapes
Yeah,
that one day might surface.
we got some underground tracks going on. You guys don't know about.
We do. We filmed
we do.
2 days before Christmas or something like that. We had Eddie on. We did an interview with Eddie, and oh my gosh, everything that could go wrong with technology went wrong.
Yeah,
the microphone didn't work.
We're
for
blaming
half
it on
of
the microphone. We're blaming it on the computer.
The other half, it was the computer. So
Yeah.
I mean, both were technical difficulties.
It wasn't that we just didn't press the button on the microphone.
It was. You didn't press the button on one part. I didn't press record on one part. So it was 0 for 2 there. We're average dudes. What do you expect?
Yeah, we're just a couple guys just living the dream.
Living the dream. But we love our people.
Uh-huh.
So what we did was we were like, you know what? We'll just do it again next Tuesday.
Yep.
So we brought Eddie back again for another Tuesday. And something happened with it. Apparently, it was a long interview. It was
too long. It was too long.
And it was like you exceeded your limit and didn't do the video. So technical difficulties again.
So
8.2.
8.2. Ocho point 2.
Ocho point 2.
So that's what
we
we're
don't even
call
say
it.
dose. Ocho point 2. So episode 8, we've done this a few times. I already know your number 8. You know mine. But go ahead and give us your number 8. Give us some of his accolades.
College, went to UCLA. He did play at Oklahoma. My favorite quarterback. I wish he was still quarterbacking the Dallas Cowboys at this age. He still might have got us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Number 8, won 3 Super Bowls with the Cowboys.
Number 8 on the jersey, but 1 in your heart.
Yes, exactly. He's 1 in my heart. And Troy Aikman.
Okay, give it up for Troy Aikman, America's quarterback.
Exactly, dude.
My number 8, I went to a different sport. Kobe Bean Bryant. Oh, I should have gave all the clues first.
Yeah.
My bad, people. But probably a top 10 basketball player of all time. And I say probably because everyone's top 10 is a little different. Chill out. Don't get all crazy, Laker fans. For me, he actually lands at 11. For you, I think he is a top 10.
I think he's top at least 6.
Yeah, okay. And I've done this list so many times. For me, he lands at 11. But there's those guys from like 6 to 15 that you could probably interchange. So he's 11 for me, but probably a top 10 basketball player all time. 5-time NBA champ, 2-time finals MVP, 1-time NBA MVP, but he was probably robbed of 2 NBA MVPs. 11-time All-NBA first team, 2-time second team, 2-time third team, 9-time All-Defense first team.
That's impressive.
Lots of accolades, 3-time All-Defense second team, 2-time scoring champ, slam dunk champ.
See, that's cool, though, because now the superstars, they don't get the slam dunk because they don't want to do that stuff.
But if we're being real, when we watch the highlights of the best slam dunk competitions ever, it's not Kobe's that we ever see. Like his was kind of
but still,
he still got it.
It gets people to watch that kind of stuff.
I love that he has the trophy, and it's another thing to his title.
Exactly,
but like it doesn't.
And that's how Kobe was.
It was a down year.
He was the ultimate competitor. He wanted to be the best at everything.
I don't remember seeing him in the 3-point competition, Jan. So ultimate competitor. He just knew his strengths.
Reggie Miller was around that time.
He knew his strengths. 2-time NBA second team all-rookie, so he made the second team as an all-rook, and 4th all-time leading and scoring NBA history. I don't think there's any doubt that the man could put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. So who would win out of a 3-point contest, Curry or Miller?
Oh, Curry.
You think so?
Curry's
over Reggie Miller?
Reggie Miller was awesome for his time, but now look at it. Like Curry's pulling
3-point contest, though.
Curry's pulling up from mid, halfway between 3-point and midcourt, and shooting the same percentage as Reggie. So I mean, Reggie.
I'm just saying 3-point contest, not.
I get it.
Like
but Steph Curry, he's a walking bucket. And the 3-point contest, we could probably look at the numbers because it's not really changing the spots and see what they did. Right. Best Christmas movie ever bracket that went. I mean, we already recorded this twice, but so it's been a while since you guys found out on Christmas who your winner was. But the Home Alone met up with Elf in the championship, and it went 47% Home Alone, 53% Elf. I was actually surprised Home Alone was that close, to be honest.
What?
You weren't?
No. Home Alone I think Home Alone should have won it.
I think Home Alone's one of those that people either love or hate. I hate it. Like, I know other people who love it, but I do also know people
You don't like Home Alone, dude?
No, I don't even like it. I hate it.
Why?
It's so boring to me and so, annoying to me.
Really?
Yes, everything about it. I don't know why, but I feel like I don't feel like there's people
who get left at home at one time all by yourself?
I was that kid. No, but I think it's probably, people are either in that camp or not.
Well, I think a lot of people like Will Ferrell over whatever his name is.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You know,
Will Ferrell guy's a popular guy.
You know the kid who he had to sleep with before? The mom's like, you're going to sleep with so-and-so, and he's the bedwetter?
Yeah.
That's his real-life brother.
Oh, really?
The kid with the glasses, and he's like, he had 8 sodas, and he's like, That's his real-life brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So cool
I think
facts.
Home Alone got robbed, but it's okay. And I like Elf, too. So
but when we do the brackets, it's not about jam versus – I think we're just trying to figure out a way to best put it.
Do you think that if the Grinch that Stole Christmas was against Elf, what do you think would have won that one?
I mean, I think Elf is the people's favorite.
Yeah, I like Elf.
That's why I put it at second. I don't think anyone hates Elf.
No,
I don't know what I mean? When you do How the Grinch Stole Christmas, some people are like, oh, yeah, I like that one, but I like this one better. Like, they have a favorite Grinch movie.
Right.
With Elf and Home Alone. I'm surprised Home Alone did that good, but I think Elf would have beat Grinch by even more than that. Just because people would have been like, that's the wrong Grinch. I don't like the one with Jim Carrey. I like the original.
I don't like that one. Jim Carrey was the best Grinch.
So we enjoyed doing the bracket, though. We want to know what you guys want for your next bracket. We have a couple ideas that we could go with, but you guys might have something that you want to see that we could drop. So let us know in the YouTube comments.
Let's do it.
Drop it, and let's do it.
We should have one as like skaters or bladers.
Skaters or bladers? I don't get it.
Yeah. So you have your skateboarders, right?
Or rollerbladers?
Or rollerbladers.
Who are popular rollerbladers?
No, I'm just saying people-wise.
People-wise. Explain. I don't understand.
So, like, you know how it's always a rival, skaters versus bladers, right?
Mm-mm.
There's always been a rival. Like, if you watch Brink back in the day, it was skaters versus the bladers, right? And then when the guys went over there to talk to skateboarders and said, hey, man, those skateboarder guys suck. They told you guys all skateboarders suck. Who told us that? Them. They went over there, you know, hey, we're skaters, you're bladers, don't talk to us. But back in the day, everyone used to skate, didn't blade, or blade skate.
Okay, but that's a simple this or that kind of thing. That's not a bracket.
I
like that.
Bracket,
we could drop that on the gram. Skaters or bladers.
Yeah, man.
Or haters.
Yeah, or haters.
No, can't do it 3 people. But yeah, you get it. They get it. We're just going to jump into the talk, and we kind of changed it from sports talk to talk because kind of anything might fall in here now. We're going to end up football season's over. That's one thing that we're both going to spend a lot of time on. But basketball, not really your cup of tea. Baseball, not really mine.
Yeah.
So when those come up, when golf comes up, we'll spend a little less time on it, but we'll still touch on them.
For sure.
And we'll touch on other stuff that interests us, like being a dad, like other stuff that's going to pop up.
Yep, that's what we do. We do stuff for us, all right? Whatever interests us is what we talk about.
Well, it's the average. It's going to be interest to the average dude. That's the whole idea of the show, right? So we're jumping in first to NFL playoffs, Jan. There's some matchups. You got Colts versus Bills, Rams versus Seahawks, Bucks versus Washington. I was about to say the R word, but I didn't.
I always say that.
Whoo, you better not. Ravens versus Titans, Bears versus Saints, Browns versus Steelers, and you got 2 teams on a bye, Chiefs and Packers. Here's kind of how I wanted to do this one with you. We'll go confidence. So 10 would be how confident you are picking that team.
Okay.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 teams.
Okay.
The higher they are is how confident you are. So if you give them the 14, that's how confident you are that they move on to the next round.
Okay.
So your buys like Chiefs and Packers are going to get the 14.
Right.
Because they moved on to the next round already. 12 will be who you're most confident. 1 will be your least confident in winning that game.
Okay.
So start.
You want to start with 1 or 12?
What do you want to start with?
We could do 1.
Let's start with 14 out of the Chiefs.
14. Okay, I'm going to say the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Packers there. I think the Packers.
13. I'm going to go.
You're going Packers. Okay, I'm going Chiefs there. Good. All right, so we got how it works out.
So 12. I'm going to go with the Saints.
You feel the Saints against the Bears have the best chance to move on. Fair. I like it. I'm going to go the Bucks.
Okay.
The Bucks are my favorite to move on. You see what's the rookie of the year's name?
Chad. Is it Chad? No, Chase Young.
Chase Young. Dude called out Tom Brady.
They don't call out
First,
Tom Brady,
don't call him out. Second,
you better be ready to. You better be somebody. You got 1 year, dude. Come on.
And
I mean, he's a beast. Don't get me wrong.
And Ron Rivera just announced that Alex Smith and the other quarterback are going to split reps because Alex Smith. He's a little hurt. He's a little banged up.
Then there's no chance.
So I'm 12.
Without Alex Smith, there is no chance. They shouldn't even been in the playoffs.
Bucks are my 12. Okay. And so you got 12
Saints.
to the Saints. Okay. What's your 11?
My 11 was going to be the Bucks.
The Bucks? Okay. All right. 11 is Bucks. I'm going to go with my 11 being the Bills.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in them being able to get that done.
You're not that confident in the Saints beating the Bears, huh?
I'm there next.
Oh, okay.
I'm right behind you, okay? But yeah, I like the Saints beating the Bears for my 10.
Okay.
And
so my 10 would probably be Seattle.
Seattle. So
because Goff, I don't think Goff's playing. And if he is, he has a
okay, that does change things. I like that. And I mean, but those conference games scare me. So third time playing a team.
I just think the Seattle's going to come out. Wilson's going to do his thing.
Okay, now we're on 9. How confident do you feel going into 9?
9, I'm going to go. I mean, I have to go this way because it's not very confident.
9 is tricky.
9's going to be, I guess, go with the Steelers because the Browns coaches got COVID. Half their coaching staff got COVID.
I didn't see that, but I'm still going to go 9 with Browns.
Oh, no.
Steelers haven't won a game since I don't remember
Their head coach is out. Their head coach is out. Their left guard is out.
I mean,
and then
I like head coaches, but how much do they really do when you got the OC?
This one, he is OC, I think.
Oh, well, that changes.
He calls the plays.
So that's half of it. Yeah. But, I mean, with a typical head coach, if you have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, it's like, oh, you can still get the job. And they've been preparing for this all year. I'm still going Browns.
Okay.
But, I mean –
Steelers, huh?
I mean, it's one of my upsets. Okay. So, next is going to be your 8.
8, I'm going to go Titans.
All right, 8, I'll go Ravens. But, I mean, like, I guess that's why we're getting there because those games are so tight. And so if that's your 8, I'm assuming that your 7's probably –
Ravens.
Okay, yeah, my 7 is the Titans. So, and that makes sense. That's going to be the best game of the weekend, I think. Yeah. And if it is a blowout, I'm like, oh, snap, watch out for this team.
Whoever team blows out, either they're going to be a tough matchup against
they're going hot.
Who are they going to play? The Steelers, probably?
It all depends on seedings after that, so we don't know how it shakes up until after the games play. So your 6.
My 6 would probably be the Colts.
6 are the Colts? Okay, my 6 is the Steelers. Because that Browns-Steelers game, I feel like could also kind of go either way, but I'm not – I think the Browns are the favorite for me.
5th would probably be the Rams.
Oh, man, I don't even think I touched Rams-Seahawks yet. That's fine. This makes sense to me. 5. My 5 would be the Colts.
Okay.
Okay, so – and I'll make it make sense. It's all good. So your 4.
4 was probably the Browns.
4 is the Browns. Okay. My 4 will be the Seahawks. They're the home team.
Dang, dude.
I mean, that's going to be another great game. I'm not confident in that pick. Like, I wouldn't go bet money on that game. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 3.
3 would be probably Washington.
3 would be Washington. All right. My 3 would be the Bears.
Did I say the Bills already? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. We're somewhere in there. So it's tricky because we didn't really.
Yeah. And then my 2 would probably be the Browns. Did I say the Browns? Yeah. I can't remember what I said.
Woo,
maybe the Browns.
What's in that cup?
And then 1 would be the
least likely team.
Bears.
Okay, so my 2 would be the Rams, and my 1 would be Washington. I have no faith in Washington in that game. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense because my Bucks would be my favorite.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So
this could have went smoother. My bad.
So they say, like, I was listening to a couple of radio things, and they're saying that they don't think there's going to be one upset this week. Well, besides the Bucks in Washington. This is the only one because technically it's not really an upset because the Bucks have a better record.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So Ravens-Titans, we agree it's going to be a great game. What's the upset? The Ravens winning because they've been on a streak.
Yeah, who has the better record?
Titans at home.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
and didn't the Titans beat them already?
Maybe, but it hasn't been lately because they've won like 4 or 5 in a row, right? So I mean, it's tough for me. Some of these, it's like, oh yeah, there's going to be no upsets. Some of it, it's tough for me to pick what's the favorite. Like, I don't know what the lines are in Vegas, but Ravens-Titans has to be close. Rams-Seahawks.
I would think that'd be.
I would think that's close.
It depends on who.
Bucks are probably the favorite, even though they're away.
Oh yeah, they're definitely the favorite.
Browns-Steelers, I don't know who the favorite is. We're in for good football.
Steelers probably just became the favorite because their head coach OC just went out.
Okay.
Rams are probably not the favorite because Goff's out, I think. And yeah. So we'll see what happens.
This is kind of a funny area to be in because I was on the gram, the Insta, and current open head coaching positions are the Jags, Jets, Chargers, Lions, Texans, and Falcons. And the Chargers just recently requested to interview Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, why, dude?
I saw that, and then I saw that they also reached out to Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer wants $12 million, I think, a year or something like that. I feel like that's nothing.
Don't they pay NFL coaches that? I don't know.
I thought that's what it. I mean, John Gruden is making $10 million a year, so maybe that is not. Maybe that's not right.
Maybe that is high, but I mean,
so Jason Garrett. I mean, they got a young quarterback. I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you can get him cheap, I guess. But to me, it would be. I wouldn't be going. He wouldn't be my number one choice. But
all right. Well, what about this? There's 6 teams here. I know you're big on Herbert. If you could coach any team, what team would you coach? Would it be the Chargers? They have defensive pieces that were hurt?
I would probably pick the Chargers.
Really?
Yeah. They have an offense. They have defense. Their best defense player was out this year.
Okay.
They got defensive guys.
I mean, so here's the thing, too. Jags have the first pick. Okay. Jets have the second pick. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the other picks are like. But
and then guess who has the third pick?
Not Chargers.
Dolphins.
That's
crazy. Texans don't even have a first pick.
Texans don't. So, I mean, even though if you were the coach and you wanted to take over the Texans, you'd have Deshaun Watson. But what else?
Yeah, exactly. And I think J.J. Watt's about fed up with Houston.
I think I'd like to be the Falcons.
Really?
Maybe you could flip, maybe you could flip that aging quarterback to like one of these teams with the early draft pick. And
I don't see any of those guys going after a quarterback, though.
And you know what? I actually think this draft class is deep at quarterback. Like, Mac Jones might not go in the first round, and that guy's up for the Heisman.
Yeah. So they just said who won the Heisman.
Who won?
The receiver for Alabama.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith. Yeah, he deserves it. I mean, he's balled out all year long. I thought him and Jones would have split votes, though, and I thought Trevor Lawrence would have got it. But
Trevor Lawrence got his butt kicked against Ohio State.
Were the votes already in yet? That's the other question.
Yeah,
when do they cast
I think that's votes? When that happened. Everyone was like,
they're like, erase.
Out.
Like, didn't write with pen.
That right there kind of gives me a little if I was a Jacksonville Jaguars GM, I'd be like, or the owner. I mean, obviously, he's like the heavy favorite because of what his body size and arm strength and all his tangibles. But that right there would kind of give me, oh, man, I don't know. I mean, obviously, they're probably going to get first overall just because the tangibles line up.
I'd probably go back and spend a little bit more time with the film.
Yeah.
But everyone's allowed a bad game. And if you look at Justin Fields, the game before had a terrible game too. So, I mean, if you're just going to nitpick one game, that's
so
crazy.
How was it? He didn't do very well against LSU, though, right?
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I mean, did well enough.
They lost.
When? This year?
Last year.
Okay, see, I don't know.
In the big game last year. So that's why I'm trying to say he hasn't won the big game except when.
Yeah, but we look at LSU last year. LSU last year that was like those Bama teams where like, can they beat the Browns? Like back in years past when everyone would always do that. So LSU last year would
say that and you'd be like, no, they can't.
I still look at Trevor Lawrence and looking at what he did 3 years at quarterback at Clemson, like this guy could play football.
Yeah,
like
he's good.
If you pass on him at 1, be ready to answer the questions if he does blow up.
Right.
If you bust on him, everyone would have busted with that number 1 pick. It's not like anyone would have not picked him. So do the same thing.
Except the Chargers.
Well, I mean, because they already got their quarterback. But most guys drafting this early don't have their quarterback like the Jets.
And I just saw that. I just heard that Jim Harbaugh of Michigan's thinking about extending his contract. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys thinking? But
I mean, they still recruit well, so maybe that's why. But they're not producing.
You ain't beat Ohio State. It's a failed season.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters to those guys.
That should be the first goal.
It was funny. So like we had Skidmore. Skidmore texted me. He had a good little thing, and I was like, I want to ask you. So he said, what conference would you play in, the Big 12, the Big 10, or the ACC? I said,
not the ACC.
I said I want to play in the Big 10, right? And I'm like this high recruit. I'm like their best player, right? I'm going to Michigan, and I'm beating Ohio State. If I go to Michigan as a quarterback, beat Ohio State, I'm a legend right now.
Okay, I will go Big 12 because if I'm taking Texas and putting them back on the map, because every year they get ranked like USC does.
I don't know why.
And it's just like, you're going to blow it because they're going to lose 2 to 3 games every year. And so Texas gets there and they just kind of are mediocre all year long. So if I bring Texas back up and they're like look at what Vince Young did. Like he went from being a no-name at the beginning of the season to, oh my gosh, this guy just beat SC. Like if you get to be that guy for Texas football is huge. It powers the country. So I'd go that route.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying.
I'm going to Michigan.
That's the biggest rivalry.
That's the biggest rivalry in football.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could beat them and lead your team to that next step, you're getting free waffles, definitely.
We're on the same plan.
You're getting free waffles.
Yeah. Vince Young probably hasn't made for the rest of his life, even though his NFL career didn't go great.
No.
He had a couple years, but all right. This got brought up in podcast 8.1 that the people didn't see. If you could hang with one athlete, one actor or actress, and one singer or musician, what 3 people are you choosing? Okay. So we wanted more thought time. It got brought up, but the video went kaput anyway.
Right.
I got 3 people. You got your 3?
So like one athlete, you have him on there. That's actually a really good one.
I know. See, I needed time to think about it because last time I said Juju Smith, but that wasn't a better answer.
No, he's clutch.
This would be fun. This would be interesting.
If I had to pick an athlete that I think would be really cool to hang out with, and I mean,
who did you say last time? Do you remember who you said last time?
I don't remember who I said.
I don't either.
But Shaq, I think would be really cool to hang out with. He seems like he's like fun. Just have fun. Do what you want to do. He's big.
He seems like Uncle Brian. You hang out with Uncle Brian.
Hang out with him. He would drink a couple beers with you, throw him back, and you can just have a talk. And he also would talk crap to you, to where it's like it's fun, and you could talk trash back to him.
I like it.
And
I think I won you over with mine. You just didn't want to pick the same guy.
I didn't.
Okay, Peyton Manning is my pick.
Have
you ever watched Peyton's Places on ESPN Plus?
But I've watched
okay, I don't even need to get paid for that plug. That show is hilarious. Like, Peyton Manning is gold.
Did you see the one? Is that, I don't know if it's on this one, when he's throwing routes to the kids?
No, that's Saturday Night Live.
Dude, that is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Tells a little kid, you suck. Get out of here.
You got to check out him on ESPN Plus. I got it. I shoot you the subscription. But him on that show, too, is awesome. He's, like, talking to Steve Young about left-handed quarterbacks and just, like, these random goofball, curveball moments that Peyton Manning's famous for. Talking to Marshawn Lynch about, like, how he caused an earthquake.
I think Tom Brady would be fun to hang out with, too. I think a lot of people, like, when he played in the match with Tom Brady, and it was Tom Brady and Tiger Woods against it was one of those two, Tom Brady and Tiger Woods versus Phil and Peyton Manning. And Tom looked like he was cool. He looked like he was really cool. And a funny story, so one of my buddies played at Rivera golf course, and the guy that's caddies, he's caddy for Tom Brady and a bunch of celebrities. And so my buddy asked him, he's like, hey, who's the coolest dude you've ever met? Like, chill. He goes, honestly, dude, Tom Brady is probably the coolest guy I've ever met here. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And now looking at the match that he played with Tiger Woods and Peyton and Phil, I was like, you know what? He seems like he'd be a pretty cool dude. So
I bet he is. And he seems
I think I want to go change my pick to Tom Brady just because you picked Peyton Manning. So yeah, still that rivalry.
We got the rivalry alive. I talked to Peyton about, hey, Tom Brady sucks, huh? And he'd be like, yeah, Jan does too. And I'd be like, yeah, dude, yeah. High five. And then you guys would be doing the same thing about us. So who's the one actor or actress?
Actor for me, there's 2 of them. But I guess if I pick one,
well, you could say your runner up, but give us more details about why you're
mine would be my number 1 would be Will Ferrell.
Interesting.
Will Ferrell, just because he'd be going to, because just the stuff he does, dude, like, is awesome. Like, he goes and pitches, plays one position in each training camp. Like, I'd love to go do something like that, or do just like things.
He's
like
that kind of guy who like has. He's an average dude of interest. Like, he loves USC football. He loves doing.
He goes to it. He does this little anchorman. He seems like he's super cool. And I would love to hang out with that guy for a day.
Who was your solid backup?
Adam Sandler would be my second one.
That's a good backup.
And Adam Sandler is like pretty much Jan with like $100 million. Except for he played basketball. I like basketball.
He'd be like, you want to go shoot hoops, Shane? You're like, no, you want to toss the football at him?
I would shoot hoops with them, but I'm not going to be all into it. But he wears gym shorts. And that's what I would wear if I was going to like an award show. I would ask my wife if I could wear gym shorts. She'd probably tell me no, so I'd have to dress.
I think you picked 2 that are very well average dudes.
Yeah,
dude. Like, I mean, obviously they're on a different level, but like they live that average dude life.
Do,
like,
dude.
Especially Adam Sandler. Like,
they do.
You'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you got a boatload of money, and you're all right. My pick is Bill Hader. Like, to me,
that's Superbad guy, right?
He's on Superbad at the very beginning.
The cop.
Is he a cop? Oh, okay. I was going Pineapple Express.
Oh yeah,
at the very
beginning,
he's
like,
he's the cop on Superbad. He's hilarious to me. I think he's one of the funniest people. Get him in a room with Peyton Manning, I just like sit down and listen. I won't even do anything.
Actress wise,
No, you don't have to pick an actress. I was either actor or actress.
Gotcha.
I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Gotcha.
Mina's going to be like, why'd you pick Hillary?
They're cool to hang out with, actress-wise, not just because of what they look like, but a person that would be pretty cool.
You don't have to. You picked an actor. You're good.
I know, but I want to pick an actress.
Dang, Vanessa. Get your man. He just wants to pick an actress that bad.
Yeah, because, I just want to see who's a good...
Hillary Duff is amazing. She's so funny.
No, she does not seem funny or cool
She is so funny. My goodness.
Okay, I can't figure one out. I'm trying to think of one, but I just can't figure it out.
All right, so let's go to singer or musician. For me, this one was easy. Justin Timberlake. He's also a part owner of the Memphis Grizzlies, so if I could talk him into hooking it up.
And he owns a golf course.
Does he own a golf course?
Yeah.
Another guy who I feel like super talented, but probably has a million stories, but also
That's a good pick, dude. Honestly, I think I would pick him too. I'm gonna copy you and go with that.
Hey, or you can take Justin. That's cool. That works.
Justin, and he's actually plays in movies that are actually pretty good.
I know. I almost put him down as my actor, but then I was like, I want to hang out with Bill because that would be hilarious and just do dumb accents the whole time.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool too.
Jumping in, are you a smarter? I don't know why I said that. Are you smarter than an average dude?
Yeah, apparently, because no one wants to step up to
the
game.
What? They didn't want the smoke of Jan.
They don't want the smoke.
I posted the challenge. People like Mike Smith saw it. People like Bobby Campos saw it.
That's not surprising. Bobby's scared.
Talk to him for a minute so I could call out the other people that saw it.
So Bobby, no surprise there. He talks. Bobby is a typical Chihuahua, dude. Bark, 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 and then he's gonna try to bite your ankle until you just kick him and say, "Stop! You're annoying me. Just go sit in your room and think about what you just did."
Chris Lopez doesn't want the smoke.
No.
Justin Smith didn't want the smoke.
Doesn't want it, dude.
I already said Mike Smith. Nick Solis, guy in our fantasy football league, didn't want the smoke.
Didn't want it.
Garrett Pierce, no smoke. No, thank you.
Garrett didn't want it, dude. He just saw it.
This one might surprise you. Levi Shigoya.
I've asked Levi to go against you and me. Against you, he didn't want to smoke.
Levi's
another Chihuahua, dude.
Another Chihuahua.
He's just bark, no
bite. If
he
bites you, it's all gums.
Yeah, if he bites me, I laugh and say, "That's cute."
Eli Rosales.
And then I try to get a straightener so I can straighten his perm out for a little bit.
Always the perm. Anthony Ramirez on here.
Yeah, doesn't want to smoke, dude.
Doesn't want it.
They know.
They know
that I'm like a
Hayden Puente, Ray Perez, Bryce Shigoya. The list just goes. Daniel Miranda. It goes on and on. People. Daniel Miranda. Mark Acosta.
Dang! Shout out to Daniel Miranda. What have you been doing, dude?
James Zontek, Andres Shigoya. These people are just shaking in their boots. They don't want it.
Dang.
But
sad. It is what it is. It's cool.
We all make business decisions. You can't come on national YouTube television, even though it's not national or YouTube television, but it's YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
You can't be embarrassed like that. So I applaud you guys for making the smart choice in life. Live to fight another day. Husband dad segment. This is kind of always like an area that we love as both being dads, as both watching each other's kids grow and watching each other like fatherhood. So I found 5 questions for a father online.
Okay.
I'll read the first one to you. You answer, then I'll answer. You read the second one to me.
That works.
So forth. All right.
Do it.
So the first one, something that happened at your wedding that you won't forget.
Something that happened at my wedding that I won't forget.
And it was actually something that happened at a wedding that you'll never forget, but I didn't want to bring up Austin's wedding, so I switched up.
That was something. So I still tell people the story of that every single day. Can I tell the story though?
We're telling your wedding.
It was the funniest thing. But I know. I'll tell my wedding after I tell the story.
Go ahead.
So Austin's getting married, and he's getting married at the museum where the village is at, and they're in this little house, and so anyways, they're Kyle and Billy are standing up there. I think it was Austin, Billy, Kyle, right? Or vice versa, whatever it was.
I was the best man.
Okay, so it was Austin, Kyle, Billy.
There you go.
So we're sitting there, and I'm sitting next to our other cousin, Tyler Shigoya. Congratulations on getting engaged, just FYI.
Hey, congrats, Tyler! Hold on.
And
he's not going to watch, but.
No, he doesn't watch it.
It's fine.
And so, and I'm looking at Kyle, and I kind of see him kind of like looking a little suspect for a little bit. And I'm slapping Tyler's leg. I'm like, dude, check out Kyle. And I'm trying so hard not to laugh because he's just looking really bad right now. And so I'm like, dude, look at this. I think he's going down. And next thing you know, he kind of grabs, and next thing you know, he's kind of just his legs buckle. Billy's standing there with his mouth open like always, like just doesn't know what to do. And he's like, he grabs Kyle everything just stops. And I'm over there trying to keep a composure because I'm like trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Tyler's over there trying not to laugh. It's kind of messed up that we're trying not to laugh. But let me tell you, if you were there, it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So, and yeah, you knew no one was really in harm. So that's fair that you were laughing. And let this be a lesson to
bend your legs.
Yes, this was my first time being on a stage where I did not want to let the person down. Austin's getting married. So I'm standing there. I'm trying to stand up as tall as possible, right? Trying to be as professional looking as I can. Got my legs stiff, right?
It wasn't professional
and,
after that.
I start feeling woozy. And I look at my mom who's in the front row and I'm like, Mom, can I loosen my tie? And she's like, what? And
I'm you did do that.
Should I loosen my? And she's like, what? And I'm like,
okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Beep you. So I was like, just forget it. And I'm standing there and I'm just like, man, I do not feel good. But I can't say, hey, hold on real quick. I don't feel good. So I'm just trying to make it through. Just hurry it up, guy. And I blacked out. And then afterwards, Austin's like, yeah, man, I saw it in the military all the time. You got to bend your legs. Just matter-of-factly, too.
That's awesome.
But, all right, back to you, Jan, because the people don't care about that
story.
So
something that happened at your wedding that you won't forget. My beautiful wife. Oh.
When she first walked out.
That
was the moment.
That was my, the moment that I'll never forget. And also kind of throwing some, trying to get some pointers, Good vibes from my wife right now. She watching this. Just FYI.
Cool.
But another one would be the car that we drove to our reception didn't have AC. So we were dying sweating because we got married in June. So
it's the little things that other people wouldn't
don't
know,
understand that. But yeah,
and you're like, I'm never
gonna
Vanessa
forget. Were struggling, dude. It was hot. It was bad.
All right, oh man. No one knows, but ours had so many hiccups. But I'm gonna go to my favorite kind of one. We're standing up there and literally it's right before you may kiss the bride kind of moment. I got my ring bearers. My ring bearers are Hayden, my nephew, and Mina's cousin, Obi, who are the same age. And did one of them fools just fart? And then it starts stinking up. I'm like, one of these fools just farted. He's like, you may kiss the bride. And I'm like, this is all I'm thinking about is this fart smell right now. Afterwards, I'm like, Hayden, did you fart? He's like, no, Bubba, I promise I didn't fart. I'm like, Obi, did you fart? He's like, so that's something at my wedding I'll never forget. I'm not going to let him forget either. So
that's awesome.
It was pretty awesome. Number 2.
Which family member has been your greatest coach in life? How have they coached you? What has made them good at it?
Greatest coach. So I think someone who's, always in your corner, even if it doesn't appear like that. And I've always looked up to a lot of people, my mom and dad included, but I've always looked at them as my mom and dad. You know what I mean? So
they're always going to be behind you no matter what.
Exactly. Have to be, right? Someone who didn't have to be for me was Kevin. Mm-hmm. And again, obviously my dad and my mom worked wonders for me. So did Billy. So did other people.
Right.
But Kevin was always kind of there. He was I got to see someone who was hey, I'm here when you need me, ask me. I'm not going to overstep these boundaries. He understood the role and he's like, I love you and this is where I am. And you know where to find me. I had other people like that too who weren't family members, like Coach Moncada.
Yeah.
But Kevin was who I consider family member and greatest coach in life. If I did ask him about hey, you want to play catch? He would. I just didn't ask him a lot.
Yeah.
If I was like, man, my arm's sore, he told me what to do with it. Ice it, how to do all this stuff. So one of my first shaves was with Kevin in Arizona. So this is just a guy who to me coached me, a family member. Obviously it takes a whole village.
Yeah.
As a dad, as a parent, you start to learn that it takes a whole village. But he was a person that really showed me the ropes just by example.
Yeah, that's cool. It's awesome.
What about for you?
So for me, obviously, like you said, my parents, that's an easy one, mm-hmm. Always can go to them. Probably which family member has been your greatest coach? Probably I'd go with my mom, probably the most, I would say, if I had to pick a family member, just because she's always there. She's always been hey, just because something goes bad for you or someone treats you bad doesn't mean you have to treat them bad. And she was always at every sporting event and all that other stuff.
And they all were,
and
right?
They're always there.
So yeah.
All our
we're
parents
being
were
so
there.
nitpicky right now.
I know it's really hard to just pick
really
somebody,
hard,
but that's who I would pick. Or my wife. My wife has my back 24/7, no matter what.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot you could say. Like, you can even have your kids as your coach, really, because I mean, they kind of test the patience to where you're getting coached on how to be a parent with your kids. And your kids are and you don't know how you're gonna do it.
You don't always do the right play.
Exactly, but your kids will let you know sometimes, like, hey, because what you did is making it worse. So you're like, all right, I need to change it up.
And that same thing is gonna happen again. So just like sports, it's like, okay, next time I do buck sweep, this is what I got.
Exactly.
Next time this happens with Cameron, this is what I got. That makes sense.
So I mean, it's a
village.
It's not one person really. It's not. It's like you said, it's a village. I think it's like the foundation that sets you up to succeed in. So those people, I would have to say.
Is Cam 6 now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he was 5 going on 6, but yeah, he's 6. They're both 6. So both boys are 6. Around that age, what was your favorite movie for?
I don't know if this movie was out yet, but I want to say it was around that age. It was probably the new Power Ranger movie that came out.
Is the one where
they feed the Mr. Oz or Ooze or whatever his name is.
They get the new ambulance. Yeah. They're up in the mountains. The White Ranger comes out.
Yep. That's probably my favorite.
That was a good one.
That was good.
I mean, solid pick. For me, it has to be Three Ninjas.
I love that movie too. That's a good pick.
Rocky loves Emily. Rocky. We watch it once a week at least for years, I feel like.
Yes, that movie is actually that movie was on Netflix for a long time. So Cameron watched it. He fell in love with Three Ninjas. So he fell in love with it, dude. And then they took it off.
Of course.
So but he was watching it. So probably I want to say it was about a year ago. He was watching almost every day.
Wow.
And he started saying, Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves.
A little Tom on there, and then the blue ring. I don't remember what his name was. But yeah, that movie was awesome. 4.
What are your best memories of holidays or family gatherings as a child?
So my parents got divorced at like age 5 for me. Like, I think I was in kindergarten going into first grade or something like that. It was early.
Damn, that's crazy.
So for me, I always had holidays 2 different houses, right? And they split it up really well. Where my mom was like, "You got Christmas." So I had Christmas with my dad. I had Christmas Eve with my mom. So Christmas Eve with my mom, like, one thing growing up, best memories of the holidays were always the hot chocolate and just that kind of stuff of it. We like, I can't go at Christmas without having hot chocolate now because of that being set up as an early age. Some of the stuff my dad did with me that, like, now me and my brother do to Emmett and Hayden, it's like, hey, what do you think? Like, my dad was famous for, like, showing you your gift and being like, hey, I got this for your brother. What do you think about it? And you'd be like, oh, man, he's going to love it. I wish I had that. And like, you open it and be like, Dad, you wrapped it wrong. And he's like, no, that's yours. And so, like, I pulled a couple of those on Emmett this year. Billy's done that before. Nice. So, I mean, to me, those are 2 things that I'm never going to forget during the holidays. My best memories. I remember the Kevin Garnett's, or what my dad showed me, the Kevin Garnett shoes.
Dang.
He showed me Billy. He showed me that's what I'm getting for Billy. And I'm like, I remember being so bummed and like, yeah, he's going to love it. Like, it was in the laundry room. I remember everything about that moment. So things like that were my best memories of the holidays, and the time I got a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Solid Christmas gift.
PlayStation, when the first PlayStation came out, that was solid. Mine would probably be like when our whole family would get together, like the Shigoyas, the Claytons, the Bakers. We'd all get together for Christmas morning after everyone did their thing at their own house, and we'd all get together and have like a big lunch or dinner, and did a big gift exchange and all that stuff. And then we did like the 12 days of Christmas, or 12 night. Is it 12 something of Christmas? 12
days.
So 12 days of Christmas. We did a thing, a little skit like that, and then we did that all growing up, and I thought that was like the coolest thing. And so it's nice when we can try to get everyone back together to do it, but times are a little different.
Well, and it's so hard now because also you have all of those. Sure, you're trying to get 3 families together, but all 3 of those families have split up to their own separate families.
Exactly.
Like you and Allie have your own families,
right?
So that's getting 2 more families.
But we still
Tyler, Levi, Chris. That's 3 families. Clayton's, they had a bunch of kids. It's Caesar too. So I mean,
So I mean, that was probably me growing up was probably my funnest time for the holidays. It was always fun. Like we knew, like, hey, everyone's coming over. We all play with our toys, play outside, do everything, and those were the good times. But we still try to do it with the whole Santa thing, and when Santa comes into town, and everyone, all our kids now.
And so growing up, what you kind of got to know, if you don't know this by episode 8 or don't know us personally, I spent maybe till 6th grade thinking you were my cousin. Like when people would be like, "Oh, how are you guys relate?" Like I'd be like, "I guess Aunt Mimi and my mom are sisters. They're both
they
blonde.
Could, you know, and they're both white, so you could mostly pass as it."
But I mean, and so we share the same cousins. We're not actually cousins, but we both have the Shagoyas, Tyler, Crystal, Levi.
We pretty much grew up together.
And I remember seeing those get-togethers, and I'd be like, "Man, I wish we could be over." Like they got everyone there right now. They got our cousins. The only ones we're not cousins with are the Claytons, but I still like them. And like I wasn't cousin with the Woolits either, but didn't know that until way later. Yeah, we figured that out in 6th grade because me, Jacob, and Allie were in the same group.
Oh, that's right.
And Jacob's like, or I was like, "Oh, whatever, cousin." And he's like, "What are you calling my niece?"
Easy,
and I was like,
bro.
"Oh, we're cousins." Because she had that deep voice.
And Jake's over there calling you out. Me and Billy, I think we called each other cousins, I think, till.
And it has become that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then growing up watching that, I'd see all those I'd see all the stuff you guys were doing. And like, why can't we be with our family? So describe the day your firstborn was born. So no shade to Halia, no shade to Ryan, no shade to baby 3, which name is?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, sure. We don't know yet. But no shade to any of those babies. But the first one was the first time you've ever experienced that. So what was it like the day your firstborn was born?
It was a cold winter day. No, actually, it was really hot. It was in August. So
you with the heat.
I know, dude.
You got a lot of hot days.
And so we I just remember, because we didn't know. No one knew what we were having.
Oh, you didn't know it was a boy yet?
So we found out when Cameron popped out. So that was like the thing. So no one knew. It was cool. Everybody was in the waiting room waiting for us. And I was
there in the waiting room.
Yeah, so I was the one that got to go share the news to everybody. So I was super stoked. And so it took, I can't remember how long the labor was, and this stuff, honestly, it's stuff dads don't know and don't really keep track of. If you ask my wife, she could tell you exactly what time, how long she was in labor for, how much pain she took, how much all this other stuff. And so, so anyways, they popped out, and there you go,
saw a little
pee-pee, and then there was a boy, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. I got a son. I'm totally stoked. He's going to be the next NFL football player, baseball player,
Memorial,
all that stuff.
Huh? Was it downtown Memorial?
No, San Joaquin Memorial.
Memorial. Okay.
And
I remember you coming out. You were all teary-eyed, but you held it together.
Yeah,
really well.
I held it in, and I was like, "All right, guys, who said it was the girl?" And most everyone raised their hand. They all thought they were right, and I was like, "You guys are right." I was like, "No, you guys are wrong. It's a boy." And everyone started yelling, giving hugs, and everything. So it was a cool experience, but it's a little stressful because you kind of have to figure out how you're gonna do clothes and baby clothes and all that other stuff. So. It was awesome, man, and it was something that I'll never forget. And now Cameron's 6 years old and killing it. I guess.
Are you ready for baby 3? First time, my first baby, Emmett, was about to get born. We woke up at like 4:30 in the morning. And it's like, and like at this time, I'm like, let's go, baby. Come on, let's go. So 4:30, she's like, oh man, today really, like, I think it might. I'm like, you think? Let's go. Like, so we already had the bag packed. We already had everything ready to go, So we get there, and right when we get there, they put us in a room. There's a 2-person room.
But yours is at on Stockdale, right?
Yeah, way out there.
Yeah,
I don't know what the different hospitals are called, but yeah. So we're in the waiting room, waiting to get checked out first, to see if they are going to admit us or not. And they send the lady home. And this is now 6:30 in the morning. We've been in that room for a little bit. 6:30 in the morning, they send the other lady home, and I'm like, damn, I hope they don't send us home. I really want this to happen. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm already Googling stuff. Oh, this is John Wayne's birthday, and his middle name's going to be John. This is crazy. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. And so, they come, they check her, and they're like, hey, so, and I'm like, fudge. And they're like, we're going to go ahead and check you. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And so little did I know it was going to be an all-day thing. I thought they check us in, baby comes out, boom, boom. and then we'd stay a night or two. But nah, baby didn't come till 11 o'clock. Like, we're just in labor all day long. And Mina gets the epidural in the back. Before that, she's throwing up. She's hurting. She's sick. She gets the epidural in the back. By the time she's pushing, she's like, ah! And like, they'll be like, push, 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 push. And then they'll stop for a little bit. Push, push, push. And so she's pushing. And I'm like, hey, are you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. That epidural was working, man. She'd be pushing hard. I thought she was in pain. Then she'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It works wonders, dude.
And then Emmett came. And yeah, so I mean, great freaking.
It's fun stuff, dude.
Fun stuff. You're not going to be ready. But yeah, I won't ever forget that moment and everything. So crazy. I won't forget you either, Halia. I'm just saying that moment was different. So kind of a new way to close it. I thought I'd tell you a joke. Next week you could tell me a joke.
All right.
Why would you never fight a dinosaur?
Why would I never
Or why should you never fight a dinosaur?
Why should I never fight a dinosaur? Why should I never fight a dinosaur? I have no idea.
You'll get your ass kicked. That was a good one.
That was good.
So I'm going to end it with like a dad joke every time, where you could pick the next dad joke. But yeah, you'll get your ass kicked. All right, so that does it for episode 8.2. We're going to start probably making them a little shorter with football coming to a close. We hope you enjoyed it, though.
Yeah.
We enjoy giving it to you still.
Exactly.
Even though we haven't
probably more football next week because of the playoff games and all that stuff.
More exciting, more talk.
But keep it short and sweet so you guys don't fall asleep on half of our videos. The 2 hour and a half one was rough.
Not going to lie, though. There was some interesting stuff.
Yeah, there was. Like, it was really cool.
But it was long.
I felt bad for Eddie because he had to do it twice.
And neither time did it work.
So
it's all right. I don't think he's seen the episode yet. So
yeah, it's all right.
that.
So.
Hey.
Well, that's it.
That's it. We're Average Dudes.